Hello, everybody, and welcome to That Plant Life podcast, where we are encouraging you to get rooted in wellness. On today's episode, Dr. Nick, will be interviewing
Rachel Renee.
Rachel Renee. We are going to tell Rachel's plant journey story today. So, the reason we're doing this is we thought it would be a great idea for you to be able to get to know us a little bit better and understand why plants are so important to us and how they have impacted our lives. So, with no further ado, Rachel Renee. Rachel,
Yeah.
what can you tell us about your first introduction to?
Yeah. So my first memory with plants is just seeing all the plants that my mother had. I can't tell you what they were except for one. I just remember she had plants all around. Wherever there were windows, there were plants. There were plants in water, there were plants in dirt. But the one plant that I do remember specifically was the aloe plant that she had in the kitchen window, because whenever we had a cut or a scrape, she went to that aloe plant and got a little bit of aloe, put it on that bruise every time. So that's the one plant that I know exactly what it was. And in addition to that, my grandfather, my dad's father, he was a gardener. So he would have me out in the garden with him. He was out there growing tomatoes and cabbage. I
Mm,
can't remember what else, but he was definitely out there growing food and had me out there in the dirt with him. So that was definitely a precious time. And then in addition, yes. And in addition to that, my dad, he liked to take us on these hikes, my sister and I, on these hikes in the woods. So I feel like that helped to grow my appreciation for nature in general and trees. Like
mhm.
I have this whole love affair with trees. Like I can just sit and stare at trees, and I've been accused of being a tree hugger and all stuff, but but it's just from those early experiences I think that influenced that.
Hey, nothing wrong with hugging a little tree.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you were exposed at a young age with the aloe and then grandpa and then dad and the nature walks. I remember doing nature walks with my dad too. That's so fun. I love those kind of memories.
Yes.
So fun. So when would you say you that it went from more of like observing what other people in your family were doing to more of like, this is what I want to
So that's your fault.
Listen, I claim it. I'll take it.
So I guess along the way in life, I had been gifted different plants and flowers and things like that, and I always felt like they just immediately died in my presence. Like they saw me coming and they were like, nope. I'm like, yeah, I don't have a brown thumb. I have a black thumb. Like plants hate me. I don't know what to do with them. So I met Dr. Nicole. We became friends in 2014, and as I started visiting her at home, she had all these beautiful plants around, and I'm like, oh, I love this. And I already had this love of nature, and I'm like, she has nature inside her house. Like she doesn't have to go outside. Then I'm just like, maybe I should try this. But I was still nervous because I didn't want to like get a bunch of plants and just kill them. So it still took me a while, even though we had been friends since 2014. I didn't really start my own plant journey until 2020 during the pandemic. And I got my first pothos, and it was the best plant to start with because it was very easy on me. And it
Hmm.
flourished. And then before I knew it, I think Dr. Nick gave me a pothos, and then I had three of them, and then I had four, and then I had a snake plant. So it just grew from there. And it was just such a beautiful experience to see, hey, I actually don't kill all plants.
Yes, yes, it is a beautiful experience when that happens. So
Hmm.
I'm glad that rubbed off some little plant mom desire into your world.
Yes, you have.
Yes. So you mentioned the pandemic and, Whenever I was telling my story, I mentioned the pandemic as well.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm curious, why do you think, based on your own experience and just kind of observing people and knowing a little bit about, you know, the plant process, why do you think that the pandemic was a time period where people were like, I'm just going to buy a plant and keep buying them?
Well, for one, a lot of us were inside. We were inside the house.
Mm,
So I think it forces you to look at your space more and like say, hey, like what can I do in this space? And maybe what hobby can I take on, And just maybe if you always had a curiosity about plants, maybe that became the time to explore it. Like for me, I had just moved into a new place. My job was very busy. I was in like all these stressful transitions in my life, and it felt like plants became the one thing that was just for me. And so it was like a beautiful thing. I didn't have to go anywhere to do it. I could cultivate it right in my own home. And also, like that space that I was in, that new home that I moved in, I feel like that was the first time I really made a place my own, like completely my own style, my own decor. And so the plants became part of that, me designing my life in a new way that I hadn't done before. So it just all went together.
I love that. I love that. And it's so true that, plants can help you like rethink a space, reimagine a space, and kind of. And I don't you think, Rachel, let me ask you this. Do you think that your plants have different personalities?
Absolutely.
Please tell us more. Tell us more about this.
Because some plants are just, I think some plants are so dramatic. And I know some people can probably name a few, like your peace lilies and your calatheas. So I find that I get into little fussing sprees with these plants. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Why don't you like me? And then I have other plants that are just like, I'm just here for you. I'm just,
Hmm.
I'm easy. I'm your friend. So, and then
Yes.
other plants that are like, be careful with me and I will reward you. Like, I'm not too dramatic, but if
Hmm.
you go too far to the left, I'm gonna act out. So it's like they do. I enjoy it. We talked about how we name our plants. Like, I think that just shows right there how they have personality. Because some of them, it's like I know their name. Like, you are this, and so yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
think they take on different personalities for us.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true. And it's like when you were talking, when you said, well, this one, if you go too far to the left, the plant's going to go to the left if you treat it this way or this way or that way. That's so funny because isn't that just the way people are? Like, you have a certain friend in your life. If you do this, they're going to do this.
Right.
Or there's a friend who they're just always pleasant and they're just easy breezy.
Hmm.
Or there's the friend
Hmm.
who may be a little more challenging and you have to kind of,
Hmm.
you know, you kind of
Right.
have to work with them. It's like we're not that much different than these plants out
Mm-mm.
here. We are not that much different.
Exactly.
So so I guess I would love to know and love to have you share with our listeners. What do you hope that people learn from your own journey with
Okay.
plants?
Well, a couple things. Like one, like I said, I never imagined that I would be good with plants. And now I have so many of them. And I just never thought that could be me. So for one, and I know I've talked to other people that are like, "Oh, I'm no good with plants." Well, if I can do it, so can you. And I kind of took this approach where, I'm going to start with the easiest plants. Whatever plants people say are the easiest plants, I'm going to start with those. And once I feel like I've mastered those and those are really flourishing, then I'm going to take a step up to maybe a bit more of a challenging plant. So that's kind
Hmm.
of been how I've managed my own plant journey. Like, I don't try to take on too much too fast. I didn't try to take on too many varieties at once. Like, I probably
Hmm.
have about 10 different pothos up in here because that's how I started, and I wanted to feel confident before
Hmm.
I moved on to too much variety. So that would be another thing. Then the other thing, that I've never really been a patient person. That has been kind
Mm.
of the thing of my life. I'm impatient. What I want right now. So it's like
Hmm.
I would love to have all fully grown, lush plants, just already done.
Yeah.
But growing plants from like little leaf or propagate, it has definitely taught me some more patience, to just be patient with a process. And
Yes.
as slow as it may be, like I've had some plants that seemed like they weren't doing anything for months and then all of a sudden started flourishing. So it's really taught me something about being patient with a process. So I think
Yeah.
those are some things I would love for people to take away.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Because, as you said, it seems like nothing is happening for months and months. And I've been there too with several plants, several that I can look at right now. And I'm like, I'm looking at you like, come on. But
Like I'm talking to you.
but it is so true. And it's the same way in life. Like, I know we have so many amazing people planned to be on the podcast to talk about their journeys and talk about what they've been through and talk about what plants mean to them, but also just talking about our lives and caring for ourselves and our process and our journeys. And it can be, regardless of what it is that you're looking to do, or you're waiting for, it can seem like nothing is happening. Like, I don't know, weight loss, all these things, your hair growing, yeah, whatever, your business growing. Like, it can seem like it's taking forever and that nothing, absolutely nothing is happening. But we know that things can happen under the surface, and things are always happening all around us that we may not see, but it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So plants
Absolutely.
are a great reminder of that. Man. So, okay, Rachel, let me one more. I got one more thing for you. Now, this is gonna be a surprise. This is gonna be a surprise. I want to know, is there anything at all about your plant journey that I don't know that you think is a cool thing? Something that I don't know
Wow.
already. Is there anything at all that you could share with the people and me, because I don't know it?
My goodness. What on earth could that be?
I
Let
don't
me think
know.
about this.
I don't know. It just popped in my head.
I feel like you know everything about my plant journey. Let's see.
And listen, and if I do know everything, then all that means is this is an example of plant mom besties.
I'm really trying to think of something here. Like,
Hmm.
oh man,
I stumped her, y'all. I stumped her.
you really did. Man, I don't know. What could it be? You got me.
I
I think
mean,
you know everything.
it I got her. I got her. But so let's just use this example. Let's just use this as an opportunity to talk about plant mom besties. Like, if you feel
Hmm.
like you are interested in becoming a plant mom, but you're kind of like nervous or skittish about it, I'm telling you, if you go into like wherever you're from, whatever city you're from, and they have like plant groups, I have seen, well, Rachel and I were friends prior to, so it kind of, that's a different thing. But I have watched in my own plant groups, I have watched people meet people just because they bought a plant from them, or just because that person shared a tip with them, and they are like the best of friends now. And the other thing about the plant community is that it crosses so many, what would you call that? So many bridges, or there's such a variety of people in the plant community. So you will see people who are just living it up, having fun together, that you would have never thought that they would have even connected, but they're connecting around how important plants are to them and how plants have touched their lives. And it's just a really beautiful thing. And that's
Yes.
definitely one of the things that Rachel and I want to bring to people to,
Mhm.
to share because I feel like we there's so much happening in the world. We're so busy. We're so, there's just a lot going on. And this is a space where it can not only be just for you and something that you enjoy doing, but there's so many benefits. There's so many like mental health benefits and just overall benefits to your life, even physical because of the oxygen that plants give. Like
Mhm.
it's plants are like the never ending gift giving. Like they continually give back to you as you pour into them and take care of them, they continually pour back. So,
Yes. Yeah, let us be your new plant mom besties. because
yes, yes.
because like we understand what it is to like want to have that support. Like you may not have other people in your life that are into plants, and that can be kind of like, who can I share this enthusiasm with? Share it with us.
With
We will
us.
get hype with you. Send us a
Yes,
message on any of our social media. Send us a message. We will celebrate your wins with you. We will empathize with any plant loss. We will be there for you
yes.
because it's important. It is so important.
It is important. It is important. I'm thinking about the time when Rachel was going to an event and she wanted her friend to go with her and they're like, what else is
Mm-mm.
going to be at this event besides plants? And she's like, that's it,
Plants.
just
That's
plants.
enough.
Right. What else do you need? So we get that not everybody is as
hmm
enthusiastic as plant as about plants as we are, or you may be,
hmm
or that you may start to be once you start listening to us. So
Right. And it's contagious. It's contagious because I see people that they're like they don't think they're plant people, and then all of a sudden they have a plant, and then now they're asking you for advice about it. I'm like,
hmm
it's
I'm like,
contagious.
yeah, yeah, we
And
see
I like
you.
I
We see
yes,
you.
I like what Dr. Nicole said. She said plants are joy carriers. They are.
Yeah.
They are.
hmm Yeah. Plants are definitely joy carriers. Absolutely. All right. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I want to make sure that everybody in our audience understands how they can find you. So, how can people connect with you?
So, across social media, I am Rachel Renee Live, Live, Rachel Renee Live, because I'm live. No, but that's how you can find me. Also, Rachel Renee, Rachel Renee dot live as well.
Okay. Rachel Renee dot
Yes.
live.
Yeah. So,
All
Nicole,
right.
thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my story. This was fun.
Absolutely. We love
Yeah,
a
so
good
we
story.
do. Yes, we do. We're going to tell so many more stories and share so many stories with you all. We can't wait. So, as we do that, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And we truly appreciate you joining and spending time with us on this Plant Life podcast. And we just want you to remember to stay rooted in wellness. Until next time, peace.